The Wonderful Adventures of Nils. Far away in Sweden, on a hilltop in the sun, there once lived a boy whose name was Nils Holgerssons. Nils was a clever boy and never meant any harm, but sometimes he was naughty to the animals on the farm. When sent to feed the goats, Nils would scare the geese away. He tickled all the horses with a stick or hide their hay. He'd shout out loud and scare the cows or wake them from their sleep. All the animals were scared of him, the cows, the geese, and the sheep. One night, when Nils had gone to sleep, a cow got very mad. She said out loud, "This must stop now. That Nils is very bad." The animals agreed and said in voices big to small, "Nils must change his behavior and be nicer to us all." A magic dwarf appeared that night beside the young boy's bed and waved his magic wand, cast a spell above Nils' head. "Hocus pocus," he said. "By the light of the next day, you shall be a tiny boy and understand what animals say. Perhaps when you can hear them, it will make you change your mind. And see that to all living things you must always be kind." The next day, when the morning came and sunlight filled the house, Nils woke up and found out he was no bigger than a mouse. He went out to the farmyard and could not believe his eyes. The animals were all so big. He was not half their size. The boy was frightened as he walked around and saw them all. He stood next to the cows and sheep. Beside them he was small. Nils looked at them and saw that not one happy face was found. They said, "You've been unkind to us. We don't want you around." But there was one kind goose whose feathers were as white as snow, who said to him, "Nils, come climb on my back and off we'll go." Nils climbed up on the goose's back, and in the blink of an eye, they soared together in the air, high up in the sky. "Nils, my name is Molly," said the goose. "How do you do? My friends are all wild geese like me. They'd like to meet you too." As they flew way up high above the houses and the trees, they saw a flock of geese all gliding gently on the breeze. As the flock landed on black gooses stood before them, proud and tall. This was the lovely Akka, fearless leader of them all. Mulia asked, "Dear Akka, can we join you in your flight?" Akka looked at him and said, "Perhaps, Molly, you might." But Nils scared the animals and treated them so badly. "If you promise to be good, you can join us gladly." Nils wanted very much to join, and he said right away, "I know that I've been naughty, but I'll be nice from this day."
Hey!
Next morning, when the sun came up in a lovely sky of blue, the geese embarked upon their trip, all singing as they flew. They soared above the hills and up among the clouds of white. Looking down upon the world, what an amazing sight! When the night fell, they stopped beside a lake to eat and sleep, and one by one the geese dozed off into slumber deep. Niels also fell asleep, but was awakened by a sound. A fox was hiding right their way. They were not safe on ground.
Look out!
"Be careful! There's a fox out here!" Niels yelled with all his might. The geese all woke up right away, and quickly they took flight. When they were all safe, Akka said, "We thank you, Niels, our friend. You saved us from the fox and led us to a happy end."
Look out!
The long journey continued, and Niels missed his mom and dad. "Would you like to go home?" they asked him. "Yes, I would be glad. I thank you all," Niels said. "But now it's time I said goodbye. A special thanks to you, Molly, my good friend from the sky. You've helped me learn to treat all living things with trust and care. And now I know I can be friends with animals everywhere."
Bye-bye!
When Niels came home, he told all of the animals on the farm of how he'd met a flock of geese and rescued them from harm. He told them of the things he had seen, the journey he had made, and how he'd learned that he could come to someone else's aid. The animals soon realized that Niels was a different boy. He was polite and kind to them. They noticed to their joy.
Tap the record button beside me to record my voice. Tap the record button beside me.
That night, as he went to his bed, Niels felt that he was glum. The spell was gone. He had new friends and was no more alone. From that day on, Niels' kindness to animals had no end, and he never forgot what he had learned, and animals a friend. The end.